Why, hello YouTube. This is Balamage again, and we're coming up with a day 1 update on our experiments for Poison SRS. As you can see in the background, this is working way better than I expected. It is going quite well, and I have to tell you, while the build is going quite well, I'm not. This was scuffed. I didn't get a single drop of any kind. I have so far found, right at the end of the league, I found a single end of the day, sorry. I found an Exalt and a Divine together in the same map. That was great. Up until then, the entire day, I dropped 16 total Chaos Orbs on the floor. I have like 73 completion. I've done a tier 6. I've killed, a tier 16. I've done quite a few red maps. I've now killed a Guardian boss. I've dropped no chaos, nothing worth anything right until the end of the day. It's been horrendous. So my gear is scuffed. It is scuffed. And it is still going very smooth like this. Now, for those worried about Poison SRS, right at the end of the day, in my very, very scuffed gear that I will go over, we found a Veritania in a more or an increased life map.
Time has no meaning here. Your pain will be endless. Away with you! I shall free you. Away with you. You stand for
I'd say Poison SRS is coming along quite fine, to be honest.
the Atlas.
That also had chain. I'm stuck in a 5-link, and it went really, really well. So there's a lot to go over, but first I'm going to show everybody the Veritania fight that happened at the end of today, because I think that's a really, really, really good thing to show people for anyone who is still worried about whether Poison SRS was good. After you see this fight, we'll go through what happened. Waiting music. That will be the part for the Veritania fight. Okay. We'll come back in game, shall we? All right. So here we are in game. I still made pretty good progress, nearly level 90. But because of the complete lack of money, we really didn't get any meaningful gear. I didn't manage to get a Covenant or even a 5-link Covenant. I didn't manage to get either sword. I didn't even manage to stop and re-roll flasks. I actually don't even have the right auras on because I just didn't stop to fix them, although they are leveling in my offhands. You will see quite a bit of this isn't quite following the guide perfectly. Like, I've got a Spectre meet your minion life in my shield. That's not the way to go. I ended up with Raised Zombie of Slamming, which I thought I'd just try out just to see how that went, along with the Stone Golem. I've got Haste on with faster attack, shield charge. I have a Skinnerbots and a Purity of Elements. So I don't even have like armor or anything to speak of. I am leveling all the right gems in my off weapons. Important to know when I share this path of building, a lot of what's happened here is just scuffed because I got really tired and just wanted to keep killing things instead of setting up all my auras correctly. I do have all the auras leveling in the offhands, but yeah, this has gone shockingly well. The fact that I have 55% chance to poison and I'm stuck in a 5-link and still managed to go that well in this very scuffed gear was an absolute shock to me that it went this well. And this is our path of building. We have our path of building set up here, fully set up. you can see we're actually only doing about 1.3 million DPS, which is sounds quite low, but realistically, when you really look at my gear, this is like a realistic setting of actual day one scuffed gear, 5 link, no poison chance. This is still going really well. This is like a pretty bad case scenario. Probably the unluckiest league start as far as drops and currency making goes that I've ever had. And this is still going absolutely fantastic. But I want to go through some things we tested, because as people who have been following along will know, I was going to test something a little bit different that we haven't tested yet. You may notice my ascendancy does not look like the guide. And that's because I took Commander in Darkness first, and then Mindless Aggression, and then Unnatural Strength, so that I could change over to the Poison Hybrid right as I got to maps. And then my Uber Lab was Bone Barrier, because I wanted to test out the Instant Leech tech. Now the Instant Leech tech is, Bone Barrier here gives me 1% of physical damage, 1% of damage dealt by your minions is leached to you as life. And then for these 4 nodes, 3 of which do nothing for us at all, we get 10% of leech is instant. So it's working pretty well, surprisingly well. The problem is, right now, my actual hit damage, my individual hits are very, very small. My total hit DPS is 43k per minion. This will get way, way higher when I have that level 25 Envy and a Covenant and all of that stuff. Hugely higher. So right now, I estimate that I'm only leeching about 700 to 800 life. And even with just that amount in this scuffed setup, this already feels at least as good as the option of taking Mistress's Sacrifice and getting my block. This is at least on par or close. It's really hard to get like an exact number, but it feels pretty good. The difference being, as I get more and more gear, this is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And that 10% instant leech is just going to ramp up and up and up in its power and give me way, way more strength. So this is fantastic. I'm definitely going to experiment with it for another day or two before updating any guides or anything like that, in case we encounter more stuff or change our minds. But absolutely fantastic so far. I also haven't bothered to set up an Animate Guardian yet, which I will do tomorrow, although I have been leveling one, so I have one that's level 18 ready to go when I want him. One more thing that I want to go over is these dudes right here, my 2 Spectres. Realistically, I should have just one of these Spectres, but I don't. I have 2 of them because I just like the way they look. The second one should still be an Arena Master. But these guys, you can see up here, they're giving me an onslaught. They give me and my minions a 20-second onslaught, which is an incredibly long onslaught. These are the Warcallers from Tota, who we couldn't Spectre back then. The downtime on these, very, very small. Onslaught goes away, they cast onslaught again, 20-second onslaught. Downside, they're a little bit slow. They don't always keep up with you 100% of the time, so sometimes you don't get hit with the onslaught. And when you don't get hit with the onslaught, it'll be 20 seconds before they cast it again. Chances are I might stick my own onslaught flask back in again to guarantee I have it all of the time for the most speedy mapping experience I can get. But I'm still going to keep one of these guys because that onslaught is being given to all my minions, which is huge. This is the guy right here. This is his PoEDB page. And if we look, Buffhorn. Is it Buffhorn? Or is it the other one? Hang on, I'll find it. Wait, is it just that one? Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I always get lost looking at this this bit. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. Uses animation length. I don't even know where the buff is listed here, but at least according to in-game and at least according to what's happening to my character sheet, it is just 20% attack, caster, movement speed. It is just the standard onslaught. That's all that is, but it is very strong. It does affect everybody. You should be able to get these from the global channel 6666, where people share all of their support specters. But if you can't and you're in solo self-found or whatever, they are from the All Flames that give Karui tattoos. When you get the Karui tattoo All Flame, these guys will be the guys in your map, and you can just specter them from right there. So there's that. That's how the character's gone. Luckily, right towards the end of the stream, we managed to make a little bit of money. So now I have that like 1 div and 40 chaos total. So hopefully tomorrow we do big upgrades. We get ourselves into a covenant. We get a real sword. We go from doing like 1 point whatever million DPS we're doing to like 15 to 20. And the insta-leech tech just takes off and everything becomes fantastic. I will show everybody one more thing, which is how our Atlas looks. I did end up going mostly with the plan that I originally had. I've had a lot of Jun, a lot of my unveils already. We've added in a shrine. We've added in a harbinger. We've got our max maps. We've got some of the Kirak nodes down here and some of the Kirak nodes there. More plus maps, more shrines, more harbingers. And we also managed to take all of the Nico nodes so that we could make use of the Pact with Energy so we can go super, super speedy. So yeah, that's it. It's gone quite well so far. I've had a great time, but I am exhausted. That was a 19-hour day total streaming, and I'm gonna go to bed, get a rest, and then get up tomorrow and do it again because I'm excited to see how far this goes. I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.